शम्भो महादेव देव शिव शम्भो महादेव देवेश शम्भो शम्भो महादेव देव
Hi friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So we'll continue our discussion on understanding different astrological houses. Right now we are not concerned about which planet is in which house, which zodiac sign or which nakshatra is in which house. All what we are concerned about is understanding the meaning of a vacant astrological house in a typical North Indian astrological chart. And we are having about this discussion on the basis of 4 parameters. The basic attributes as being represented by each house, the karaka, the significator planet attached to each house, the planet which is an indication of the functioning of that house. Third being the medical astrology, the body parts as being represented by that house in consideration. And last being the spiritual connection, the learning which can be extracted from that particular house. So far in our this journey, we have understood and we have discussed that the first house, which is known as a Tanu Bhav, which tells about someone's, health, someone's personality, someone's character, the beginning of the life. Second house is known as a Dhan Bhav, which tells about someone's finances, early childhood environment, the speech he uses, the values which he has been raised with. That we see from the condition of the second house. Third house tells about someone's, courage, valor, younger siblings, short journeys, short communication, all that we see from the condition of the third house. Third house is also the house of desires, the subconscious. Fourth house, which is known as a Sukh Sthan, which tells about someone's mother, land, vehicles, emotional strength. Then comes the fifth house, which is known as the Putra Bhav, which tells about someone's progeny, merits of the past life, the Purva Punya, creative self-expression, romance, love affairs, luck in gambling, we see from the condition of the fifth house. Then comes the sixth house, which tells about someone's enemies, debts, obstacle, daily work environment, subordinates, pets. Then comes the seventh house, which is known as the Kalatra Sthan. This house tells about someone's spouse, business partnership, we see from the condition of the seventh house. Then comes the eighth house, which is known as the Ayu Bhav, which tells about someone's longevity, disgrace, scandals, humiliation. In positive aspect, this house also tells about inheritance, legacies, joint assets, the psychic powers, we see from the condition of the eighth house. Then comes the ninth house, which tells about someone's luck, father, pilgrimage, higher learnings, gurus, we see from the condition of the ninth house. Then comes the 10th house, which is known as the Karma Bhav, which tells about someone's career, his status, his public image. Once you step out of your home, how does the world see you? How does the world perceive you? We see from the condition of the 10th house. Then comes the 11th house, which is also known as the Labh Sthan, which tells about the fulfillment of wishes, the friend circle, network circle, support of the friends. We all get to see from the condition of the 11th house. Now comes the 12th house in consideration, which is also known as the, Vyaya Sthan, the house of the losses. So when it comes to the basic attributes, the signification as represented by the 12th house. So first of all, this house tells about the losses, expenses, extravagant nature. Now with that said, it will all depend on the overall condition of the house, the dignity of the planets, present over there, that whether these losses, the money shedding out of our pocket is going to be for the good reasons or going for to be the bad reasons. Because 12th house also tells about the way we handle the losses. Because planets in the bad dignity is just going to make your money go out for all the wrong reasons, like, women, gambling, all kind of, alcohol, indulgences can be seen. But in a positive side, the loss of the money can also be seen in a way that it is being used for the charitable reasons. So the first thing is about the loss of the money, the expenses, extravagance, and how we handle the losses. Secondly, this house tells about, our deep emotional nature, deep psyche, because it is the, 12th house is a water sign, is a natural house of the sign of Pisces. As we know that amongst all 3 water signs, Pisces is the deepest water. So the deep hidden emotional nature, the psyche, the inner psyche, the fantasies, the time of sleep, dreams, we see from the condition of the 12th house. Third is, this house also tells about the all kind of foreign settlement. Permanent foreign settlement gets seen from the condition of the 12th house. 12th house also tells about, all the hospitals, all the prisons, all kind of, person has gone in a seclusion, the monasteries, the ashrams get seen from the condition of the 12th house. 12th house, also tells about is the house of bed pleasures. The sexual intercourse, sexual indulgences also get seen from the condition of the 12th house. 12th house also tells about your hidden enemies, hidden enemies, the clandestine relationship, the secret relationship also gets seen from the condition of the 12th house. I know in a typical astrological chart, the way it has been believed in Hindu astrology, that in a woman's chart, 12th house also gets seen from the perspective of her character as well as her sensual outlook. So for that perspective as well, we see the condition of the 12th house. So these are the few parameters and few signification attributes as being represented by the 12th house. 12th house is also the house of death, the self-realization, the moksha, salvation, liberation. All of that also gets seen from the condition of the 12th house. And when I say losses, how we handle the losses, so you need to give proper signification to the overall condition of the chart, because what makes me say that is because let me give you a very small example. Couple of days back, a person came to me for the consultation. His astrological chart was speaking out loud about some kind of inheritance and legacy which is bound to get in this life. And once I start asking him and talking him, so he just said, I come from a very lower middle class family. I don't think so that I'm destined to get something out from my father, from my family trees. And when I asked him what he do, so he told me that he's a pilot. So he told me that his father was not very well financially, but still he used to do so many odd jobs, and somehow he managed to put him into a very good school or college, wheresoever college from where he got his aeronautical engineering, the course of pilot, all that thing get done. And imagine how expensive the training of a pilot is. So in so many, it's such a huge amount which his father has put onto him, and he is still not identifying that as an inheritance which he has received from his father. So it's all a state of mind. You need to look at it from all the perspective while doing the analysis. So in his case, though it was a clear case of some kind of inheritance which he has received from his parents, his father, who was otherwise was so living in such a limited means, but still he managed to put him in such a prestigious school and college and undergo such a expensive course. So but still he was not he was still in a denial mode. So that all you need to do. So this is all about the 12th house, the basic attributes as represented by the 12th house. This is a very important house. And the second is when it comes to understanding the the karaka, the significator planet attached to the 12th house. So first is being the planet Saturn. As we know, Saturn represents grief and all kinds of delay and little bit of losses. So Saturn is the chief karaka significator of the 12th house. But many astrologers even attach Rahu and Ketu as the significator of the 12th house. Rahu because of the foreign settlement part, because 12th house tells about the permanent foreign settlement, and this is what Rahu represents, all kind of foreign contacts. Ketu because Ketu represents ultimate liberation, salvation. So these two many astrologers even attach them as the karaka of the 12th house. When it comes to understanding the body parts as being represented by the 12th house. So first of all, 12th house represents your left eye. 12th house also represents represents your feet. 12th house also tells about any kind of mental imbalance, loss of sleep, death, hospitalization, all that gets seen from the condition of the 12th house. Now when it comes to the spiritual learning, so as I've been repeatedly saying this thing, that 12th house is the house of the, because as you people know that at the time when we were having a discussion on the 8th house, I already cleared this thing, that 8th house represents all those things which we hide from other. But when it comes to a 12th house, it just tells about all those things which are hidden from us. And one amongst that is the ultimate liberation, the capacity to salvate and attain liberation in this lifetime, that attain moksha. So because when it comes to spiritual learning from the 12th house, so the truth is that we do not want to die, but at the same time we also want to get the moksha. So this is how we can extract the nectar of can be extracted from the 12th house, that this house is a chief house of moksha, liberation. So the kind of duties you are fulfilling in this life, the kind of behavior you are doing in this world is being monitored by the planets, the planets which are the astral bodies. They are not some kind of some lump of mass which is just rotating in the universe. we in Hinduism see them as an astral bodies with life, astral bodies with life. That is the only reason they get propitiated. So 12th houses tells about this. There is a scope of attaining liberation. You know, this cycle of, you know, repeated cycle of life and death can be exuded, can be eluded. You have the capacity to attain final ultimate liberation in this lifetime. So this is what we get to know and learn from the condition of the 12th house. So this is all what I wanted to say on the 12th house. I hope I made myself very clear and informational. For further more updates and notification on astrology, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.